back. It's 13 minutes to 8 o'clock. Now, today marks World Day of Social Justice, and people with albinism are taking center stage to highlight issues faced by this marginalized group. They'll be convening an event today, for example, giving practical solutions on how to tackle crimes against those living with albinism in South Africa, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Well, we joined in the studio by Lorraine Tshuma, a human rights activist, and Hannah Tshuma, a 10-year-old activist with albinism. They are both from Khulisa Social Solutions, and they are also mother and daughter. Good morning, Lorraine, and good morning, Hannah.
Good morning.
Welcome. Thank you very much for coming through. Lorraine, just this meeting, I hear there's a summit that's been going on. Yes. Then today it culminates in this event that's being planned. Just tell us what's been discussed. What is the purpose of this meeting so far?
So the summit started on Monday, which was the 18th and the 19th, and obviously the event being today. Really what we wanted to do, because we had visitors from Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and obviously South Africa, we're coming together trying to find issues around, that are facing people with albinism, obviously from different countries, coming together to try and put a manifesto of saying, the government, the state, communities, families, this is what people with albinism are asking. This is what people with albinism, are requesting. With the amount of killings, with the myths and the discrimination. So we actually gathered together to put together a manifesto, and it was quite interesting. And I mean, Khulisa Social Solutions really brought people on board to speak to us about human rights, to speak to us about, the triple BEE and how people with albinism actually contribute to that. And we had IQ Business IQ that came to actually help us try and put innovative ideas for people with albinism going forward.
I didn't mention Tanzania in my intro.
Yes, I said Zambia.
Apologies, it's Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and South Africa. So they've also brought with them their experiences.
Absolutely.
And you are discussing how you can ensure that they are the right kind of solutions in how we deal with people with albinism.
And how they will obviously cover everyone in Africa. So not just South Africa or Zimbabwe or Tanzania. But as we continue with the summit, we're hoping to get other African countries. And I mean, the problems faced by people with albinism are similar in these different countries. And you'd be amazed about how similar they are, and it's insane, but it was such a beneficial summit.
Now today there's an event, it's a culmination sort of. There's a manifesto,
yes.
And your daughter here, Hannah, welcome to Morning News today. You're going to be reading that manifesto. Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and as a person with albinism, and you 10 years old, I understand.
Yes.
Okay, for how has been the experience for you?
It's been okay. I haven't really have people teasing me or calling me names. Last year I had a lot of people bullying me, and I was being called, named, and it was getting worse and worse. So now this year it's much better, and I have nice friends. They treat me like, I don't know how I can say it, but they really treat me well.
And you've decided to be a young activist.
Yes.
In terms of this, and is that because you want to help other people who live with albinism?
Yes, I want to encourage them not to be scared and to live their lives, and they will always be safe every single day.
Yeah. I guess, Lorraine, a supporting background or family also helps.
Well, look, I mean, firstly, it's acceptance. You have to accept what God has given you. There are challenges. I mean, I've come across certain mothers, and I think I represent mothers and parents, because you have different sort of experiences. I've had a few coming and giving me their own perceptions or myths and what I should have done, and I thought to myself, this is crazy. So just accepting what you have and saying, she's human. I mean, she's like me. The only difference is pigment, and obviously to fix the hair and the eyes, but I mean, other than that, there's nothing else. So the foundation is important. Love, value, respect your kids, because it helps. I mean, I know Regina Mary was supposed to be here, but she had a lady with albinism on her show, and she specifically spoke about her family, the love, the encouragement, the motivation. And today she's a model. she's an actress, and she's out there. And it's really, really important because the foundation stage is what matters.
We had a
Without
model
that,
here as well last year on this show talking about
Yes.
people with albinism. Are you finding now that with more awareness being created about the nonsensical myths that are
Absolutely.
happening around, that people are beginning to get a little bit more understanding around issues of albinism?
Well, yes, I think we're getting there. We're looking at people within our, close proximities, the suburban areas. We're sort of trying to tackle more of the villages, the rural areas, because that's where the lack of education is. And that's where most people with albinism are suffering the most and really have no care. But it's slowly getting there. I mean, like she said last year, she came and said, Mommy, there's someone who said I'm an albino, and they say I'm different. And because she's an activist, she says I'm not different. She actually stands for herself. And I say to her, you need to. And you make them touch you, make them feel you, tell them you've got the same blood. So we're getting there. And hopefully with Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and with Khulisa, the initiatives going forward, and what we're actually trying to do, Tasty Foundation did a march last year, and that was amazing. We want to make that an annual thing, so we're going to get there eventually.
Well done for bringing up Hannah the way you have. And Hannah, good luck for the manifesto today.
Thank
Are you
you.
looking forward to it?
Yes.
Okay, all the best. Thank you very
We've
much.
been rehearsing, so she'll be okay.
She'll be fine, okay.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome, Lorraine. That's
Thank you.
Lorraine Tshuma and Hannah Tshuma talking to us about challenges that people face, people with albinism are facing, and of course the efforts that are being made by organizations like Khulisa Social Solutions in this regard.